This one's a beauty. So our friends at Wuben sent a flashlight for me to show you. And this is a Kickstarter item. So if you want to check it out further, the links down below in the information are pretty specific. So you can go see this crazy bright flashlight. First off, let me tell you, it puts out 13,000 lumens. It sounds crazy just saying that. I've been carrying a flashlight for like 30 years and didn't think we would get to the point where something you could put in your pocket, although it is a big flashlight, would put out 13,000 lumens. So, being that this is a Kickstarter product, you will want to go and see what they've got going on. Things are subject to change. Get in early. But this is what I have to show you right now. So we'll start out with the ergonomics. It's big, but it's comfortable. It's sturdy. It's just, it's a serious flashlight. There is a nice locking mechanism that houses the two 21700 batteries, and that as well is a serious lock. With that power of the two large batteries, this has USB-C charging, 30 watt input, but it also has 15 watt output. So you can use this as a power bank to charge your phone or some other device. The light, or lights I should say, consist of all that beauty up in the front, and with that you get floodlight and a spotlight, or with the switch being conveniently in thumb position, you can run, flood, both, or spot. So, as I go along here, I'm going to just show you a bunch of footage of it in use so you can see the beam shots, because that's important. And it has a whole bunch of different settings, which I'm not going to bore you with. Go look at it. I will put it up on the screen if you want to pause it. But again, 13,000 lumens is the max, and then it does have an eco of 10 lumens. So not necessarily a moonlight mode, but at the least it does have a low mode. And as well, this being your selector switch, the actuator button, the action button, is right on the side. So you can see it's just a press and hold, double click, whoa, to get it super bright. The other interesting thing that came along with it is a couple screws and this little rail mount, which would go on the back here or the underside. That is for a handlebar mount, or at least this is the option I get to show you. I think there's going to be a tripod mount available for this, which would be actually really awesome for outdoor stuff. Filming comes to mind for me. This is nice. This is actually really built well, aluminum and stuff. So this as a bike light, that's crazy because it's super bright, but it would be really effective. And speaking of the underside, so what this has is a active cooling fan right in there. And I'll show you a clip. You can hear it come on when, you know, the light reaches a certain temperature, whatever that is. So that keeps you from going into meltdown mode, which is wonderful, right? Right. The beautiful thing about this being removable is it's a fan, which there are your ports. You can take that out and clean it. That's a good thing. I ran it on turbo quite a bit for, you know, filming purposes. It never got hot in hand. The fan did come on. I can't recall how long it took to come on, but, you know, that's irrelevant when you're dealing with something this bright. And the run times are actually decent, but you've got two massive batteries in there. This thing is, it's built really well. Like, I mean, it's one of those things that, this is the X1 Pro. I had seen the X1 for quite some time, and I had always wondered about it because I have a lot of the, you know, other size Wuben flashlights, the square flashlights, which I really like the way they feel and function. But this thing is like, I don't know. You know when you pick something up, even before you use it, you know you're dealing with something substantial? That's about how I feel with this. And again, built crazy good. So here's a few more clips of it because, you know, beam shots really are super important when you're thinking about getting a flashlight. You want to see how the thing looks. And before we wrap up, just a couple more looks at the detail of the build. Those reflectors are really nice. And it's the small details. You have a lanyard loop back here, which, depending upon what you're doing, might be a real smart idea. I love how so much of this is actually bolted together. You know, there's a lot of chunks of it that are just one piece, but then there's a lot of it that's just bolted. So, there you go. The upcoming Wuben X1 Pro. Check it out on the Kickstarter. Check out my link. And that's it. I hope the video gave you some information you were looking for and some visuals. And thank you, Wuben, for sending this along. Sick light. And I appreciate you watching. See you next time.